Hello and happy Friday, and thanks for tuning in to radiofreerhinecliff.org and this show in particular. Correct me if I'm Norm. I'm your host, Norm, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight with Donald Corren.
Here I am.
Here you are. Thank you.
Fresh from the garden.
Thank you. And what were you doing in the garden?
I was clearing a spot to put perhaps a rose bed.
Oh.
But it had been long neglected and long overgrown, and nothing interesting. Just a lot of weeding and...
Yeah, and what do you do? So you have weeds. Weeds are usually pretty hardy. How do you make sure the weeds don't come back?
I'm not really good at that.
Oh.
I try to dig up the ones that have roots. Actually, I say, like I do it a lot, Richard does all of it. I'm
Sweet.
doing it for the first time in a long time, thinking, I'm off the road. It's time to get back into gardening.
Yeah, off the road.
So I kind of claimed this one area that was
Right.
totally overgrown, but small enough not to defeat me.
That's good. So
It's
you're
going to be
doing,
my job.
yeah, you're strategizing a plot that you can triumph over.
Correct.
That's very smart. Now, it's so many things. You said when you're off the road.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
Well, it means I was gone all summer. As an actor, I generally work out of town. So my career has been mostly regional theaters. So I leave for 2 months, come back, as opposed to on tour. When people say they're on the road, that often means they're literally on the road.
Right.
I mean it to say I go to the Guthrie or I go to Pioneer in Salt Lake City. Or
These are various theaters around the
Right.
country.
So last spring I was at the Denver Center, and then I was in Nashville, and then this summer I was 3 months in Nashville doing the Dolly Parton musical.
And did you just get back from that?
A week ago, yeah.
That's amazing. Well, let's start there.
Okay.
What's the Dolly Parton musical?
It's called Dolly, a true original musical. That's
Wow.
the title. And she's been working on it for some years, and with my friend Maria S. Schlaughter, who is co-writing the book with Dolly. And it's the musical of her life. She's always wanted to do a Broadway musical of her life. And she tells the story of, when I was in high school, we took a trip to New York. It was the first time I'd ever seen it. It was in the 60s, like 66 or something, or 68. She said, I got off the bus and I noticed all these taxi cabs had signs on top that said, "Hello, Dolly." And I said, I'm coming back.
It's the friendliest city in the world.
They were all saying, "Hello, Dolly."
That is such a good story. So is that part of the Broadway show she's putting together?
Well, 7 drafts ago and 3.5 hour script ago,
Right.
that was part of it. Now that was cut away.
That's
A
too
lot
bad.
of things got cut.
That's an adorable
It is
story.
a great story, yeah.
So
it
you-
might come back.
Well,
You don't know.
yeah, Dolly, I know you're listening. Bring that back.
Yeah.
And so you were working on it, and it's just
Yeah.
developing.
Oh, we did a full
And-
production. We did 4 developmental readings.
Okay.
The first one was just very casual in New York City, and it was done just so Dolly could hear it.
Right.
And I say Dolly like I know her as my best friend. She was with us every single day, so she's like, we all know her as Dolly.
Right.
She's not like, she didn't just oversee from afar and miss it. She was there every day in rehearsal. Every day she gave notes. She was very focused on this. So Dolly wanted, the first reading was for her to hear it out loud and decide whether it was ready for her to write the score.
Wow.
And she determined, this was like 2 years ago. And then she did. Then she spent the next year writing the score. So it's about half original music for the show, and half is, her
Dolly classics.
well-known hits.
And did she write the book too?
She co-wrote the book.
You'd hope. I mean, if it's her life story.
Yes. Oh, yes. She wrote it. She co-wrote it
Oh, my
with
God.
Maria S. Schlaughter, who is a great book writer. And so that's how that came to
So
be.
this is going to be a ginormous hit.
From your mouth to God's, it was a ginormous hit in Nashville.
Right.
We rehearsed down there for like 5 weeks, and we opened at this beautiful theater called the Fisher Center. It's new. It's a new theater on the campus of Belmont University. 1,700 seat house, brand new, just state of the art, beautiful. And they chose that theater, because it's in Nashville, and Dolly wanted to have the preview in Nashville. I think it's not an overstatement to say they love her in Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
It's a bit of an understatement to say,
Right.
Oh my God, you've never heard such response from an audience.
Well, let me ask this. I don't pay a lot of attention, but she seems politically progressive on many issues.
She doesn't take any political stance. She's
Okay.
all about, I love you just the way you are. And she is a humanist.
Okay.
You'll never see her get involved in political discourse or she's all about love. In terms of how she presents and when she's interviewed, and tolerance and love, and that's what she's like.
Right.
We were with her 8 hours a day, every day, day after day, and she is that person.
And before this thing came up,
Yeah.
what did you know about Dolly Parton?
Probably as much as you. I was I loved her music. I wasn't a rabid fan. I couldn't tell you all the albums or songs or lyrics, but I certainly know the great ones. And I'd also done a movie with her about 5 years before, 2019. We did a movie called Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually kind of a cult favorite. It's rather camp.
Is it?
And yes. And we shot that in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And so I had already met her, and, I'm hardly her best friend, but I was in that world. She remembered me, and I remembered
Right.
her. And then when this came up, I became part of it, and that's how I knew her. That's it.
And you say this, what is your role in this thing?
I am a featured ensemble member.
Okay.
That means I have more costume changes than lines.
How many costume changes will you have?
I must have had, 8 costume changes backstage, and which for me, I'm not used to that. It's a lot. And then I had a breakout role. I played Don Warden, who was first Porter Wagner's producer.
Okay.
And also a champion slide guitarist. So he was well known for his musical prowess, but he was kind of a Mr. Everyman. He did everything. He produced it. He wrangled the talent. He drove the tour bus. He played in the band. He, was the cleaner-upper of Porter's messes, whatever Porter apparently was quite a flamboyant Porter Wagner. He gave her her start. Dolly she had some singles out that had made it in the country world.
Right.
But Porter was Mr. Country in terms of that world. He didn't break out of that world, but in the world of country music.
Did he have a TV show
Oh,
at
yes.
one point?
The Porter Wagner Show.
Right.
Welcome to the Porter Wagner Show.
That's
and
right.
at one point, he lost his girl singer, Norma Jean. And so he comes to her. She had a couple of singles out by that time, and people were talking about her. She was already being noticed, and he came to her and said, I want you to replace Norma Jean and be my girl singer.
Right.
Which she did for 7 years, and they made they were known as a duet team, and they made lots and lots of records. And
were they ever romantically entangled?
if so, that's not part of the story. I think maybe.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But that's not. They certainly had a tempestuous relationship. They're both really willful, very clear on what they wanted. And she alludes to how, well, the play more alludes to it. We show a lot of fights and a lot of conflict. In the meantime, they made great music. And, she wanted to break out and be more of a, she wanted to break out of the country music strata and become mainstream. She wants to take country with
Smart,
her,
yeah.
but become, which he didn't, he wasn't mainstream.
Right.
So that was like when she went to L.A. and started working with Sandy Gallen and became that international sensation with Vegas residencies and movies and a TV show and
Right.
all that.
And your role in featured ensemble is Porter Wagner's manager.
Producer, who then, because he and Dolly really got along great. And so when Dolly left Porter, he went with her. He went with her to L.A. and became her Mr. She calls him, you were my Mr. Everything.
What a great gig.
Yeah, it's a great gig.
and
It's the most fun show.
Yeah.
And it's all this Dolly Parton music.
And so it's coming to Broadway at some point.
It's coming to Broadway.
When might that happen?
They're talking about fall of 26.
Okay. Which is pretty soon.
A year. Yeah.
And when it comes to Broadway, will you have that role?
I don't know.
Right.
There's no guarantees of that.
Right.
I mean, there were 3 developmental readings held in Nashville, and each time they were building the cast they wanted. So there would be a week-long reading, then 4 months. Then a week-long reading, then 4 months, and went over a year. And you never knew if you were going to be asked back.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the production in Nashville. We'll see.
Who was directing the Nashville production?
Bart Scher.
And who will direct on Broadway?
Bart Scher. Bart.
So that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the people in charge are
oh, yeah. It's
well, I'm knocking on wood for you.
Yeah, thanks. It's a beautiful, I mean, they designed it down in Nashville to the dimensions of the stage that matches a particular Broadway theater or two.
Right.
That the producers,
Smart.
which is Ambassador Theater Group, among others, but Ambassador Theater Group owns several theaters in New York. So one of their theaters will house it. And so they built the whole set, and they built the whole, and they've already put the pieces together. So all this to do is just move in.
Right. When will you find out?
Norm, it could be the night before. It could be
6 months ahead. It could be any fucking time.
In those readings, one I think I found out 4 days before.
Right.
One I found out a couple of weeks before.
And was there a scuttlebutt? Did you hear like, oh, they were looking into other people for your role, but then
No. I I was on the ground floor. I was at the very first reading. I was kind of presented to Dolly because I have an old friendship with Maria Schlatter. She and I go back 20 years. She's written for me before. She wrote a wonderful one-man piece for me that I did in the Fringe Festival, New York Fringe Festival in 2013. And I've been in all of her readings of her various shows. So I'm kind of part of her coterie of talent that she likes to use when she reads she's written several musicals. So I was there at the first reading because I was like someone she could count on being there.
Right.
And Dolly was there and liked me, so I went on to the next reading, which is when Bart came into it. So I arrived as kind of a fait accompli, but not if Bart didn't want it. You know what I mean? It's like Bart then got a cast, and he said, fine, and I just kept going.
Oh, my goodness.
So
I'm so nervous for you. But you've been through this shit like your whole life, this kind of thing.
Not like this. I've never been in a great big quadrillion-dollar Broadway show.
No, but
with that kind of celebrity wattage.
But in terms of being up for a role and not knowing and really wanting a role.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just get used to it. It's like I don't plan on anything.
So you don't plan on anything, and that's good. It's a healthy attitude. What do you do to maintain that healthy attitude in the face of all this desire?
Liquor helps.
Liquor. What's your drink?
Actually, I've been a good boy recently. I like a nice Pinot Noir. Or a little Jameson on the rocks. You know,
right.
You know, that feels sober. And if I'm really wild, a vodka martini.
You want what?
A vodka martini.
Nice.
But I'm a one and done man, so I have to like.
That's such a smart attitude.
Well, it's not.
One
Listen,
and done.
I wouldn't be one and done if I didn't fall asleep after one.
Right.
My whole family are the cheapest drinkers in the world. Everybody nods off after.
That's good. A whole family of cheap dates.
Yeah, totally.
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
Okay. Where's the brother?
My brother lives in Denver. He's a doctor. He's a retired doctor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were raised in California somewhere, right?
Stockton, California.
And that's Central Valley?
The San Joaquin Valley.
San Joaquin. And what is that like?
Hot
and fertile.
Yes.
And was that a good place to grow up?
Oh yeah. Oh, I had like the Leave It to Beaver childhood. I mean, it was the 50s,
right,
into the 60s, and it was. I never heard the term play date until like the 80s. It was like be home for dinner.
Right.
The dogs ran around. We all just ran around on our bicycles and walked a half a block to school and hang out at each other's houses after. It was It was very swell. It was swell.
It sounds idyllic.
It was idyllic. And who knew there was so much discord that would come out later? You know, it was everybody, you know, the 50s were great if you were white and,
Yeah.
you know, Episcopalian
Yeah.
and a number of other segments.
Sure.
That now, you know, it's different, but we didn't know. It was a great time.
Well, so
We weren't Episcopalian, by the way. We were Jews.
and you also weren't. And as you started a litany, I'm like, and straight
And straight.
cisgender
Oh,
and all
yes.
that.
Oh, yes. And straight and middle. I mean, it was a great time for the middle class.
Right.
That's when you know.
But you weren't straight, or maybe you were. I mean,
Well,
I
I
don't
was
know.
when I was 10. Thank you.
were- yeah.
No, I don't know what I
I
was
don't
when
know.
I was 10.
Some people are precocious.
I wasn't. No, I was a drama kid from the beginning, though.
Right.
I don't think I even dated. I was just always in a show.
Uh-huh.
We had. It was interesting, you know. Public schools in California were extremely progressive and well funded. Before Reagan became governor, and then a lot of that got cut and changed. But before that, when it was a Democratic, and I don't want to get on any posts here, but it was just a very, a lot of time and money and focus was put on progressive education.
Right.
So there was a drama department in my elementary schoa
Right. I
in my
love
high
that.
school, and they were very active. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, my desire presented when I was like 5.
To be in theater.
Yeah. You know, and I was doing, and there in elementary school was a drama outlet. So we were doing talent shows and plays and
Right.
taking field trips to San Francisco to see shows with the drama director. I mean,
Amazing.
and then in high school, it was in a really, really advanced, I mean, advanced is the wrong word, very progressive. The guy who, kind of my mentor, who created this little theater in high school, which kind of became autonomous.
Is that Tom McKenzie?
Tom McKenzie, yeah. And we didn't like just do a senior play. We had a season. Everybody traded off and did everything. You learned every part of the theater. If you were committed, then he made sure you learned everything. And we did 4 or 5 shows a year. We'd run them for a month. We would do little tours. I mean, it was incredibly, I mean, it's where I started. It's where I really learned how to be a person in the theater.
Right.
Was
And
with Tom.
what were the things that the younger you really sparked you, really loved about that pursuit?
Well,
Putting on plays. And
putting on
all that,
plays.
yeah.
It was something I did well, and I responded to it. It's very much just a part of who I am, and luckily there was an outlet for it. And
Right.
Tom saw that, it could be developed, and he, along with other people in the same position, there were plenty of talented kids who, as soon as they presented it and came to him, he would, you know, put on plays around his various students who had certain talents. He's a very enlightened educator.
Love that.
Yeah.
And what were some of the plays that he put on specifically to highlight your talents?
Me?
Yeah.
I did The Music Man.
Right.
I was kind of a song and dance man.
Uh-huh.
So he chose those kind of things for me. But he wanted to stretch me, so I did the Fantastics. We did some Moliere. I was Tartuffe. Yes, I essayed Tartuffe as a sophomore. I don't ever need to do that role again. I climbed the heights. God, I was in a Greek tragedy. I was. But my main joy was always musicals,
Okay.
and we did a lot of musicals. And I also played piano, so sometimes I was musical director of the musicals and stuff like that.
Now you mentioned Tartuffe and
Yeah.
Moliere, that there's a role you never want to do again. Are there roles you've
Oh, no,
done?
I'm kidding. I would love to do that role again.
Well,
I'm
that
kidding.
was my question.
No, the
What-
joke being, as a sophomore, how could you
Oh, I
possibly
see.
do Tartuffe?
I see. So what other roles are there out there that you're like, I would really like another stab at that?
Meaning that I did in high school, or
No,
just
that you did,
roles
that you did last year or 40, 50 years ago.
that I'd want to do again?
Ever. Yeah.
Or roles that I haven't done that I want to do?
Well, that's the second question.
Oh, okay, I'll do the first one first.
You start wherever
I
you
would
want.
love to do Souvenir again. Souvenir is a two-hander that Judy Kay, the great Judy Kay, and I did on Broadway in 2005. And it was about Florence Foster Jenkins, the infamous opera singer who was tone deaf, who is kind of well known to any opera singers, have always been. She was either really savvy or really deluded, no one quite knows, who hired Carnegie Hall and sang concerts, and she was tone deaf and arrhythmic.
Egads.
And she had a very loyal. Yes.
Are there
Have you ever heard
recordings?
of this?
No.
Oh my goodness.
Are there recordings?
Oh,
of her?
they've never been out of print. She made them in the 40s, and they have never. It's called. I forget the name.
And is it
The Magnificence of the Human Voice ? Or something like that.
because
Florence
she
Foster
knew
Jenkins.
what she had and what she didn't have?
She
and
didn't know.
Oh, she didn't know.
No. And
Who
they
put
used
the question mark on there then?
the people who released or re-released the record.
see.
It was a private
Okay.
press.
Right.
And if you Google her, she's all over the place. And Meryl Streep did a film about her about 10 years
And
ago.
you did the play
I did the play.
called Souvenir.
Yes.
And you originated that role. You
I did.
created the role.
I did.
On
Broadway,
On
yes.
Broadway.
It was originally created by another actor named Jack F. Lee, who was a great musical director in New York City, off Broadway. And then when it came to Broadway, Jack was not going to be part of it, didn't want to be, and they put it out for audition. So I originated it on Broadway.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that springs to mind.
I would love to do it again. Judy and I both would. She lives up here, and we see each other. And we
you
both say, who's going to do Souvenir again for us? We took that all over the country, too, in the years that followed. It's a beautiful play. It's a two-character play. It's her and her loyal but befuddled accompanist, who kind of becomes her caretaker.
Right.
And, I mean, not physically her caretaker, but in terms of,
Oh my God.
it's a wonderful piece.
It's kind of bringing to mind Kiki and Herb. Did you ever see that?
Yes, except Kiki and Herb, it's a parody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Florence
as,
was not.
as source material for the Kiki and Herb parody.
In a way, yes.
Yeah. And so when you listen to these albums that have never been out of print,
Yeah. It's very clear how bad she is.
right.
And opera singers have been laughing at those albums for decades.
And this woman never knew.
Well,
We don't know.
we don't know.
Right. It's fascinating to think of somebody. And during her lifetime, did she have some successes?
Well,
that weren't purchased.
Here's the
from
story.
Her own
And there's not a lot. I mean, it's all kind of anecdotal.
right.
People who were there. She used to give private charity concerts in ballrooms at hotels, and you had to be invited. And it became an in-joke. You know, Noel Coward would come, Cole Porter would come, but you had to play along.
Right.
And everybody who got an invitation was kind of screened, so that there was this whole culture of people who learned how to laugh up their sleeve or put handkerchiefs in their mouth.
Right.
So she never heard derisive laughter. It was part of the audience.
And
It's
is
very
that
hard
is that
to
what the
imagine.
play is about?
Yes. Well, it's based on that history. The play we did is about the relationship between the two. And,
Okay.
And he's an aspiring good musician who knows the difference, who has great ambition, but is mediocre and will never get there.
Right.
She has all the makings, both emotionally and spiritually and ambitiously, of the greatest singer in the world, but without
Miss
any talent.
that one thing.
But doesn't know it.
Right. I love
It's
this story so much. Also
Yeah.
brings to mind like Norma Desmond. Just
Well, but Norma Desmond was a star.
she'd
who
had
fades out.
her
right.
thing. Yeah.
Florence Foster Jenkins was, I mean, she tells the story. She's very happy one day because she got in a taxi accident, and as a result, she hit an high C. She realized, oh my goodness, I can do the Queen of the Night now.
Oh, God.
And those are true stories, apparently.
And when did she shuffle off this mortal
In,
coil?
I think, 40... Well, it culminated in these concerts at Carnegie Hall.
Right.
And that's when, and no, again, it's anecdotal. It was reviewed. People came. They didn't ever invite reviewers because they didn't, but it was Carnegie Hall. And I think she got laughed at. And it's a very poignant ending. Whether or not she perceived it as derisive, some people say, oh, she died of a broken heart. My play, who wrote it, said that's not nonsense. She was preparing her next concert when she had a heart attack.
Right.
But it's great folklore.
It's great folklore and so enabling and encouraging.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, you got what you got, but push towards your dreams.
Well, she also had she also had an advanced state of syphilis.
I see.
That might have caused that.
Which makes people a little bit crazy.
Yes.
And delusional.
And who knows how much that had to do with it. But if you'd like to see the story of her, rent or stream Florence Foster Jenkins, which is a film that stars Hugh Grant and Meryl Streep.
Wow. Yes, I would like that
That's
very
the
much.
story. It's told through a different lens than ours, but it's the same story.
It is.
Yeah.
So they get you're working with mostly all the same facts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which is rare. I love this so much. Thank you for bringing this story.
So I'd love to do that again.
And how come? So you originated on Broadway.
Yes.
Had you seen the off-Broadway production?
Yes. I saw the off-Broadway production. I went I went to it with my singing teacher, who was great. I haven't seen her in a while, so I hope she's still with us. Who's a great Caroline Page, a gorgeous soprano. And she was interested in the role. And she said, this is a great role, and if it goes to, I would love to see it because they'll do many productions, blah, blah, blah. Won't you come with me? So we went, and when it was finished, we went out to dinner, and she said, you should do that role. The guy's like in his late 70s. I was 50 at the time, or 55.
Right.
And I said, he was, no, I'm so young compared to who he is and how
Right.
it dates that way. And clearly, part of the charm of Jack F. Lee, who did it, was that he was getting very old. It was their memories. It's a memory play. And she said, I bet you're wrong. I bet they would be interested. And I thought she was nuts. But I knew the producer. I'd worked for the producer before. So I wrote him an email. I said, hey, Ted, it's Donald. Nice to see you. Hey, out of nowhere.
By the way.
Hey, I saw, Souvenir. Congratulations. What a wonderful piece. And you probably don't know that I play the piano. So if you are going to do any more, a college tour or something, please keep me in mind. And I got like an email 10 minutes later, and he said, we're auditioning. Jack isn't going to go on with it. I would love to see you. Just like that.
Boom.
So
Wow.
that's how it happened.
That's the way it works in the movies about Broadway, but I don't think it works that way too
was
often
lucky.
in real life.
He was very lucky.
Well, that's spectacular. So what do you think? This is like 20-some years later.
It was 2005 we did it, so it's exactly
so 20 years later.
Yeah.
What do you think 20 years later you would bring to this role that you didn't have at 20 years ago?
More pain and disappointment. I mean, he's pretty much...
I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that. It takes place in a piano bar at 1 o'clock in the morning, and he's playing Supper Club in the Village in the 60s.
God.
And
Did you ever go to
Marie's
Marie's Crisis?
Oh, sure.
We used to
I
go
used to
there
play
for
those bars.
Oh, you did?
That's how I
probably
made
there
my
when you were
living. I used to
playing.
play piano
God.
bar.
Right. Sorry. Anyway, it takes place. You're going.
Yeah. So, and he's, drinking a little bit and playing piano, and he's kind of pissed off and a little sad, and you become the audience. You become the audience becomes the patrons at the Supper Club, and there's probably 10 people there, And he looks at the audience and says, I'm feeling a little sad today. I'm sorry, but it's the anniversary of her death, and and he starts to just remember, and he wants to tell people. He has a need for you to know that she was the real thing, that
Right.
he knew her well, and she was not to be scoffed at, that she heard great music in her head, and that she had the soul of a real artist. That's the position that the play takes. So he
so
has
gorgeous.
a need. Oh, it's and it's beautifully written. Stephen Temperley wrote it, who also lives up here. We see him too. We all get together, for dinner now and then. It's a beautifully poignant play.
Right. Huh. Wow. So pain and disappointment, that's what you bring to it.
Well, I'm just older.
Right. You're age appropriate now.
I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I'm 105. So.
You look great for 105.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're still active, gardening and stuff. That's
Gardening,
good.
being in shows, still out there.
Yeah. The other question, which you already jumped the shark to, is what roles have you never done that you would love to do?
Well, I'm probably too old now, but Tevye would love to
Really?
have done Tevye in
Really?
Fiddler.
Wow.
I never got a chance to do that. I would love to do Death of a Salesman. And it's a real stretch for me. I don't usually get cast in roles like that, but
And
I know there's one in me.
In what ways is that a stretch?
Well, I don't usually get serious dramatic. I mean, that's a tragedy. That's a serious dramatic role. That actor,
Yeah.
you go to hell and back in that role.
Right.
But I really understand him. I see that play whenever I can see it. It just speaks to me.
And do you see any production you can see? Do you see the Woodstock Players, community
If they did it,
theater?
I would.
Right.
I mean, but I've seen all the ones that come to Broadway. I saw
Right.
this last one I saw was the African American version, Wendell Pierce, and a wonderful actress whose name I so apologetically forget because she was so brilliant as Linda, and it was
Okay.
brilliant.
Uh-huh. And how is it different? I don't think of it as a play that's sort of race sensitive.
They didn't change a word.
Unless-
They didn't. They used the original everything, the original
Right.
set, the original music, and it just worked and had a different flavor because everybody's trying to get that. It's a play about a man who thinks if he just gets successful, it'll solve everything.
Right.
And that anything in the name of getting ahead and getting rich is right. That's
Right.
the moral fiber
Oof.
of his life.
Right.
And his sons disappoint him, his job disappoints him, everything. And this play is about the last 24 hours of his life when it all comes crashing down.
Right.
And it's about fathers and sons.
Right. And do you have any kids?
No.
But you had a father.
Oh, I have a father.
You have?
He's 101.
Excellent.
And
And how's your relationship with your father? How has it been historically?
good. Good. We have rocky times, but we're very close now.
Right.
And
That's good.
he's a great guy.
And your mom's still around?
My mom passed away 2 years ago.
Right. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let me ask you, were talking about Central Valley being a great place in the 50s and 60s to grow up when you're white and middle class and stuff. And I brought up being straight. At what point in your life did you make the realization and think, hey, maybe I'm not straight?
Well, I knew and didn't know. I don't know if you can understand that. You
Sure.
can compartmentalize. Probably through high school. Although I was still interested in girls, and I had some dates and stuff like that. But I think when I got, probably to New York to go to school, it was like, oh.
That-
And the theater is always kind of a gay-friendly place. So even
Oh,
though
yeah.
the society had not progressed, the theater was a very safe place
Right.
to explore that. And be
And you got to New York when you were 18 or so?
19.
19. And you went to school at some
backwater place, yeah.
crummy
Crummy.
drama joint. What was it called?
Juilliard.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
And people have, I mean, it's tough to get into. You have to audition, you have to send them all kinds of stuff. How did that go for you? You're a teenager in Stockton, wasn't it?
I was actually, yes, I was supposed to be in the opening class of Tom McKenzie, my mentor and my high school drama director, had a connection with SUNY Purchase,
Okay.
which was creating a very progressive theater department.
Right.
In 1968, they started, and it was supposed to open in 1970. And I auditioned, and he brought someone down to see me, and he said, "Oh yeah, we want him." And it was, I was, and but they didn't open. So I graduated from high school. That department wasn't open yet, and the draft was on my back. And so my brother was at Berkeley, and I wanted to be where he was. So I spent a year at Berkeley.
Okay. And then
I auditioned. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the throwaway line there, the draft was on my back.
Yeah.
So was it like 1970? What year was it?
1970. I forget when the lottery was. I think 19. Anyway, I had a low
68.
number.
Yeah. You had a low number.
I had a low number.
You were like 1A or...
I was cannon fodder.
Right. Ugh. It brings tears to my eyes. That shit was so fucking horrible.
And when I transferred from Berkeley to Juilliard, they gave me a very hard time. I had to really fight to keep that deferment because Juilliard was not a degree school in those days. It was a diploma school.
Oh. And so the selective service was on your ass?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had to go to a physical. I mean, it progressed.
Right.
And then it stopped. And then the 2S came in the mail one day, and I thought...
What's the 2S?
I'm sorry. 2S is the student deferment.
Okay.
1A is you're fit to go.
Oh, God.
4F is you're not fit to go. 2S is student deferment, and the others I don't know.
That must have been an amazing moment.
Yeah, it was.
And so it was like 71, 72 when you got the 2S?
I think it was 72 to 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
and
not
your
sure.
And your brother was safe because he was
He had
at
a high number.
Fancy.
He had a very high number.
Why did he have a high number?
Because that's how it picked. The lottery was based on birthdays.
Okay.
And literally, you pick birthdays out of, and when your birthday got picked, that was your number.
I'm not sure I knew that.
You didn't? Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. It was a lottery system.
When's your birthday?
June 5.
Uh-huh.
And his was in July, and anyway, he had a high number. I don't know.
So you must have had lots of friends who ended up just
I
going there
don't
and-
have a lot of friends who went to Vietnam.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Right. Oh,
I had a lot of friends who died of AIDS, but I don't have a lot of friends who went to Vietnam.
ye gads. What's going to be next?
What's going to be next?
Alligator Alcatraz for dissidents. And speaking of which, do you get lots of scripts that are sort of subversive, or at least talking a lot about what's going on politically now?
I haven't.
Right.
But people don't send me scripts. I don't have like the stack of scripts. Oh, I think I'll do that one. Hello, book me.
Right. That's funny.
But no, not really.
But I understand you don't have a stack of scripts, but I'm not wrong in imagining that you might. You've had a illustrious and wonderful career.
I get opportunities. At my age, and particularly because I don't look my age, when they're looking for someone, in their late 60s and 70s, they see someone with white hair and
Right.
they're looking a little more patrician or avuncular.
Looking a little more white.
Or maybe I'm avuncular.
Uh-huh.
Am I making that word up?
No, that's a good word.
Thank
that
you.
Might
I
more
enjoyed
aptly
speaking
describe
it. Yeah.
me than...
You're avuncular.
Yeah.
Mr. Avuncular.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to get that on one of my business cards.
Yeah.
So I've got so many questions. The Dolly thing is like done for now.
Done for now.
And
Well, from our end, from the performers' end,
Right.
The writers and the producers, and they're kind of taking the experience we had in Nashville back to the creative room and determine what gets changed before coming into New York.
Right. But
I'm not privy to any of that.
right, and you're not getting paid. You're not on a retainer or anything.
Oh God, no.
So what is coming up for you opportunity-wise?
I just stare at the phone.
You
Just
stare at the
said it,
phone.
that's all I do.
And shed one lone tear.
One lone tear. But I can do it on the upstage side or the downstage side.
That's talent.
Yeah.
That's Juilliard.
I wish I could. I do audiobooks. I narrate audiobooks.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And where do you go to do that? Do you have a microphone at home? You
I have a studio.
Soundproof
Yeah.
booth?
Yeah.
And do you have a booth, or do people really need to be quiet?
I have a
when you're doing
booth.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
My husband is a very handy builder.
Uh-huh.
Richard, who you know.
Yeah.
Richard Prowse. And he, among many other things he built on our property, was this really cool sound booth.
Love that.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you all been married?
Well, married since 18, but together since 81.
81. Holy crap. And how did you meet?
We were, my first show in New York was at Goodspeed Opera House. Actually, that's not quite true. My first job in New York was a Broadway show called A Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine. And I don't know if you've heard of that. It's one of the most delightful shows to come out of the 70s, but it's so light. But it was one of the Tommy Tune's great confections. It's just light and funny. The first act is a review put on by the ushers at Grauman's Chinese Theater of all movie-based parody songs that are just fun. And then the second act is a Marx Brothers movie that they're showing at Grauman's that day. That's a musical. That's as deep as it gets.
So it's a made-up Marx Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Called A Night in the Ukraine. And it's just a hysterical show. And I came in to understudy a 5-week contract. I was living in Chicago, which is where I started my career. And again, it was just lucky. I was doing a show with someone. His girlfriend came. His girlfriend happened to be the casting director for A Day in Hollywood, A Night in the Ukraine. And she knew I played piano. This role, it was a piano playing role. And I came to New York and auditioned and got it. And I said, I always said, I don't want to move to New York without a job.
Right.
I don't want to I got a job. It was a 5-week job, but I got a job.
Right.
So I said, that's it. That's the job. So I was, I think, 29, and I came to New York, and I never went on. But, you know, it was a dream come true because the day I got there.
What do you mean you never went on? You were
I was
understudy.
I
Okay.
understudied.
Okay.
It was a bad flu season, and the guy who did the role, who was also the author, wanted a 3-week vacation instead of a 2 because his family was in South Africa. And so they wanted the understudy covered because it was 3 weeks and it was a bad flu season. They didn't want to take the chance that the show couldn't go on if Brooks couldn't go on. So that's how that happened. And then the next job, the actual job I got, although I have to tell you that the first day, here's a young man who's dreamed of doing a Broadway musical. That was my, the zenith of my ambition. Being a Broadway musical, an old-fashioned Broadway. And so the first day I was there, because of the nature of the show, I was issued white gloves and gold tap shoes.
And spats?
No, the gold tap shoes were enough because that's the costume in the first act. Yeah, and I had to learn tap in these gold. So I said, that's it. I'm on Broadway. I got white gloves and gold tap shoes.
I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
And so you literally realized that at that point in time, you're like, oh, fuck, this was my dream, and I'm here, I'm living it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't go on, but I got in, and I still have a picture. My dressing room was on the 5th floor. And but I lined those things up in front of the mirror with, the playbill, and I treasure that picture of gold tap shoes and white gloves.
That is so gorgeous.
And then a couple of months later, I got cast in a Noel Coward review, which was going to play at Goodspeed Opera House.
Perfect.
Loved it, because I'd been doing Noel Coward music as a piano bar player for many years. And so I went to Goodspeed Opera House for the summer, and Richard was, at the end of the run, there was like a 10-day overlap between our show and the next show. And Richard arrived to paint the next show. He's a scenic artist.
Right.
As you know. And he's painted more Broadway shows than I've seen in my life. He has a great career that he had. And we met. on my 29th birthday.
Wow. So you're just in the theater.
So
And this hunky kid comes up to paint the sets. And,
yeah, with
and-
long hair
Yeah. And
and rather short shorts, I may say. And they'd had a birthday party for me because it literally was my 29th birthday, and suddenly my present showed up.
there it was.
There it was. And so we met at Goodspeed Opera House. And so in 2018 was the next time I went to Goodspeed Opera House, and it happened to be the same slot, the time slot, which went from the end of May into July. So I was going to be there on my birthday. So that's when we got married,
Spectacular.
on my birthday at Goodspeed Opera House.
And it's been a number of years. It's a successful, lovely, long-term
Long-term.
marriage.
Yes.
And you're all, when he works often, is he still doing scenic art in the city?
You know what? He doesn't. He retired when COVID started because we all kind of retired because all the theaters everywhere
Right.
there was no work. It shut down. And he was a year from retirement. And so he just took his pension. He said, why not?
And we should mention, he works every year to help Sinterklaas
Yes.
look as spectacular as it does.
He does. And he also designs the, what is the Grandmaster? The Halloween parade.
Right.
In New York City. When there's a celebrity, is it Grandmaster or whatever they
Grand
call it?
Marshal?
Grand Marshal. Thank you.
Yay, do I win something?
Yes. Yes. So he does that too.
Uh-huh.
And also works a lot, or has worked a lot at, the Center for Performing Arts.
Right. That's great.
Great.
So what's the secret to the success of this beautiful relationship?
Never talk, never listen. Have you ever heard that old joke?
Sounds like a line from somewhere.
It is a line from somewhere. To what do you attribute your long marriage? Never talk, never listen.
Yeah.
What do I attribute it to?
What is that from?
I don't know. It's an old
Right.
joke.
It sounds like a Mel Brooks thing.
Yeah. What do I attribute to? Tenacity,
Uh-huh.
valuing, forgiving. I don't know. I'm not, if I was an expert, Norm, I'd write a book.
Yeah.
It's not easy to be with someone for that long. On the other hand, it's brilliant to be with someone.
Yeah.
The secret of long-term relationships.
Who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
You just at one point, and as the years go on, you realize that what you've built is great.
Right.
And because people change. I've been with him my whole adult life. I've gone through how many changes? He's gone. You grow, and sometimes and I wish I had a concise punchline answer. You just
Right.
keep going.
Right. And you said if you did, you would write a book. And it makes me think you've written like almost everything else.
I have?
You have.
Oh, how good me.
Yeah, a playwright. You've written
What
for
have I written?
Martha Stewart.
I wish I'd written a play. I did. I was a writer.
Right.
I left the theater for about 10 years, and I wrote industrial shows. That's when I paid off the house. Because that's when I learned, if you want to make money, work for the people who have it.
Right.
Like Amex and FedEx and Pfizer and Visa. And, that's the kind of, those clients. I was writing their corporate shows, their product launches.
Right.
And that led to writing 2 seasons of Martha Stewart Living.
Right. Amazing.
With the Empress herself.
And how was that? She's a tough boss.
She is exactly what you think she is. And it was tough, but I loved it. And I came to admire her and be tickled by her. I mean, she can be as charming and funny, but she's tough. You don't want to be in the crossfire.
No.
And she plowed that garden of that career out of a pie,
Right.
and taste and will and
Right.
business savvy and looks. She was a model first, and then she was a stockbroker. And she's really skilled. It
Right.
wasn't like everybody else does it. And she says, oh, look, I planted a... Oh, no. She does all that, and she does it better than you.
Right. All right. How do you explain the Martha Stewart Snoop Dogg thing? What the
I
hell?
was so long gone by that time. I was there for 2 years, 94 to 96.
Right.
And it was before she became the juggernaut. She was still kind of a niche personality. I didn't even know who she was when I got the job. I didn't.
Right.
And so to kind of catch up on it, they gave me copies of the first 2 years of Martha Stewart living, so I could just look at the magazine and
Right.
figure out who she was. But I worked very closely with her because I was also kind of her performance coach.
Right.
So I was right on set, giving her directions.
Right.
It was quite an experience.
And there's video of y'all on YouTube.
Yes, there is.
You and Martha.
Actually, it's not on YouTube
Cutting
anymore.
up.
You have to go. I looked for it the other night.
I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it.
Well, I hope it's there. And if you find that link, send it to me because I looked for it. It's on my website.
Oh,
'Cause I
you know
took a
what?
copy.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's where I saw it.
Yeah. She, Leslie McNeil, who also lives in in Rhinebeck, Leslie, who's, why I worked there because she produced it. And she thought it would be fun if Martha and I did a cooking segment together. So I had this recipe for rugelach that we used to make for
How
Christmas.
do you
every
define rugelach?
Well, it's a cookie cake kind of thing.
Is it? Is it really?
Martha Martha started that segment by trying to get me to define what rugelach was.
I saw that.
I didn't know what the hell rugelach was. It's like candy. And I just was bullshitting my way through it, and it made her laugh so much that she caught me out.
It's a good thing to see.
It's really funny because she laughs hard. I'm as embarrassed as can be. I just turned red. And they kept it. They kept all the takes. Cut. All right, try it again. Cut.
Yeah. It's a lovely...
It's really fun.
Human sort of segment. When I looked it up here for your edification, rugelach is a traditional Jewish confection with Eastern European origins, known for its flaky, buttery, and crescent-shaped form. Mm-hmm. The word is Yiddish for little twists or little corners. Now you know.
Now I know.
I love that the goy gets to bring this stuff into this room.
It's like strudel, only the dough is fatter.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's something someone taught me to make.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
But anybody who's listening, go to donaldcorren.com.
And you'll see everything and more.
And you'll see all these things we're talking about. And it's a ridiculously cute segment.
It is cute. Yeah. It's cute.
So how long were you in Chicago?
3 years.
Okay. And then you came to New York with that job, and you were here ever since.
Yes.
And how so the two of you came up this way together?
To visit Leslie. I came up to visit Leslie because I was writing a screenplay in
25.
25 and then 27.
Yeah.
Or no, wasn't it 27 and then 27 and a half?
Then it became 25.
I mean, yeah, Jen and I both are here because of,
Leslie.
Yeah, because of Leslie. She of our group was the first to come up. And so I didn't even know there was anything north of Yonkers.
Right.
Who knew? I just wanted to go to Broadway. I didn't know there was uptown. So I get on the train. She says, well, come up. I met her through a mutual friend who had seen me do Torch Song Trilogy in L.A. in like 83. I don't remember. Something. Anyway, that's how we met. And then it came out that I was looking for a place to write a screenplay. She said, oh, I have a house in Rhinebeck. You're welcome to... I just met her. You're welcome to it. My daughter and I are going to be gone for the month of August. You're welcome to go there. I said, what's Rhinebeck?
Yeah.
She said, come up Sunday. You'll take the train. I'll pick you up. You'll see it. And I saw this town in 1985, 84, 6, I don't know, early. I was like, someone else, I was living someone else's postcard.
Right.
Where did this come from? And I just fell in love with it. And I stayed at her house with Tom McKenzie, my high school mentor, with whom I was collaborating.
Oh, sweet.
And we both fell in love with it. It was
Right.
like, oh my God, where did this come from? And I got home and I said to Richard, and I don't think we had 2 pennies to put together. I mean, I don't think that we were just 2 broke people. I said, we got to buy a house in Rhinebeck. I don't know how I even said that. And I didn't know what a mortgage was.
Right.
I literally had to call someone and say, what's a mortgage? And where does it,
It's a mortgage, and how do I get one?
and how do I get one? And what do I need? And it took 3 years to find some place that we could get in on, and, but we did. That was 88.
And what were houses like that going for back then?
Well, we bought a house that was quite derelict. Beautiful bones, as they say.
As they say, yeah.
And walking distance from the train, which was important because I had to go in and out of New York.
Right.
And but it needed a lot of work, and one whole wall was had a lot of rot in it from the roof down to the basement. And Richard said, well, we'll renovate it. And but it didn't have the septic was coming onto the lawn. It was like a lot. It had been unfortunately let go, but a lovely home and lovely people we bought it from. And so it was under 100
Right.
in those
But
days.
he was a painter and designer. Was he good at swinging a hammer too?
He's a great builder.
Yeah.
He built 1,000 square feet onto our house. I heft. I carried the hammer and swept.
That's good.
Yeah. I also did the electricity.
Oh,
I laid the floors.
sweet.
So I don't give myself credit. And I did demolition. But the very few times I tried to do any finish work,
Right.
I said, I never want to look at the product of my finish. There were hammer.
Well, that's what putty's for,
That's what he's for. So I don't do anything that you can look at, but I'll do things behind the walls.
Right. But you're doing this little patch of rose
I
bushes
am.
out back.
Damn right.
Which presumably you look at a lot. Do you know what kind of roses you're putting in?
Well, the last time we did roses, they were so mercilessly eaten by the Japanese beetles that it broke our heart.
Awesome.
So I don't know what we'll do. Maybe they'll just be. I haven't gotten that far. I just still have the dream of a
That's
rose
good.
garden.
Is this the time of year where it's good to plant?
I don't
rose
think we'll
bushes?
plant. I think what's going to happen now is I'm just
prepare.
going to clear this place and then maybe put some black plastic over it
Right.
to kill the weed roots.
Right. Wow. Well, guess what? We're out of time.
Can't be. I just have so many stories.
30 seconds left. Well, let's hear it. Talk fast.
No, I don't.
And I do encourage people to go see your YouTube, because there's lots of stuff on there that's hilarious and punchlines that I wrote down. I'm going to do you the favor of not sharing the punchline without the setup. But it's great. You do stand up.
Yeah.
You do acting. You do singing. You play piano.
Yeah.
It's really it's been a pretty good life for you.
Yeah.
And when you look
love
back, do you think do you see any things you'd do differently?
You mean more than 140
Yeah.
things?
Yeah.
No. I didn't know from things like goals and plans.
Right.
I can't make plans into next week.
Right.
I have always just opportunities have come, and I have taken them or not taken them. And sometimes that leaves me high and dry, has left me high and dry, like dependent on the phone.
Right.
But I have been very lucky.
Well, thanks for taking this opportunity to be here tonight.
My pleasure.
So good chatting with you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a fabulous Friday and a great weekend. And special thanks to my guest, Donald Corren.
Thank you.
What a treat. Long bow.